What is up, Edgar community? I am excited to talk to you today all about social scheduling. So the reason we're doing this today is because I think there's some really clear questions a lot of us forget to ask when we schedule posts. You know, having a schedule for your social media rather than leaving it as a task that you just do when it's convenient for you allows you to provide your followers with things like consistency and on-brand messaging over and over again. And that is how communities start to grow so rapidly. So when you look at these other pages that you see a lot of great engagement on, and you see people getting really excited that the posts from those brands are showing up in their feeds all the time, and people are commenting and clicking and excited to read, it's because they've respected their followers and shown up consistently. It's truly the foundation of a community, is making sure people can count on you being there. So that's why having a schedule and using a tool like Edgar is so important. But when it comes to actually scheduling our content and what type of content to schedule, Edgar's found some really good guiding questions that I wanted to share with you today. The first thing that you want to do is know when your audience is active. So that's step number one in creating a really effective schedule. Because if you're posting things when your audience is not online, it's less likely they're actually going to see your content. Of course, algorithms are there that surface content that is going to be of interest to your followers, but timeliness does go into a lot of the algorithms. So one way that I really want you to start informing your schedule is to actually go to your Facebook insights and see when your audience is online the most. And I'll show you how to do that here on the Meet Edgar page. So when you go to your page, what you're going to do is click on this Insights tab right here. So when you're on your page, you can see this is just the Meet Edgar page. We go ahead and click on Insights. Sometimes it's found in this upper navigation. Sometimes you have to click more and you'll find Insights there. Once you're on the Insights page, you can see some overall insights, which is helpful, but you can also go over to this left sidebar and click on Posts. So it's Insights from the top navigation, Posts from the left, and this graph is going to be a great way to start informing your schedule to make sure that your posts are going out when your followers are online. So this graph here is showing me the times of day that my followers are online the most. I want to be sure that I'm really paying attention to bucketing my posts going out within this time frame. Remember, everyone's audience is so different. Of course, here at Meet Edgar, we work with marketers who are online during the workday, so it makes sense that our audience would have this distribution. Yours might be different though. So that's the power of making sure you're looking at these insights and really asking yourself, hey, when are my followers are online? In my Meet Edgar schedule, then, I can come here and make sure that the majority of my time slots of when I want things to go out are bucketed when my audience is online. I think Facebook Insights and Instagram Insights here, if you have a business account, remember you can go to your audience insights within your Instagram account to see a very similar graph. I think this is a great place for you to start. And then it's starting to notice those other clues of which categories are producing the most engagement that can help inform the future versions of your schedule. Because remember, everything we do is experimental on social media. We always need to be seeing which categories people are gravitating towards the most when those categories are sending out to have the strongest possible schedule. So once you actually get your post set up to go out when your followers are online, the next question to ask yourself to create a strong social media schedule is do you know the types of content, the format that actually works on each network for your community? Everyone likes to consume content a little bit differently, and often the network that people choose to go on has a little bit of a clue for you, the type of content they want to see. So this is a huge generalization. Please hear me that this type of content is going to work on each and every network, but typically what we see work well, if you find that the majority of your followers are following you on one of these networks, this is a good clue that this might be the type of content they like to see because those networks are comprised of this content. So for Facebook, that's things like photos, videos, live streams, those types of things do really well on Facebook. Remember, people are there to purchase from, to not purchase from companies, but there to connect with friends and family. So make your posts actually look like that and in the native language of what works well on Facebook. You also want to think about Twitter. This is a place where including links to curated content, your own content, and GIFs, man, is the GIF game so strong on Twitter. That's going to be the language that people are looking for when they come to Twitter because it's what they expect. And giving your followers the kind of meeting their expectations of when they come to the network, what they expect to get is going to be a great way for you to build trust. Instagram, of course, beautiful photos. Everyone knows that. Videos, boomerangs, stories for that behind the scenes content, that kind of peek behind the curtain so that they feel like they're getting to know you as a person rather than just a brand, does really, really well on Instagram as well. LinkedIn, any sort of links to your own thought leadership, industry news, videos on LinkedIn get huge reach right now. So look at this different type of content. And if your followers are really following you on one specific network, see if you can produce more of that content. Another way you can tell what type of content is also found in your Facebook Insights. So where we just were here, let me go ahead and pop that back up. Where we just were on this post page, if you scroll down, you can actually start seeing the type of content that each of these posts were. And from here, we can start to see the reach and the engagement rates that each of these types of content got. This really helps inform us, say, okay, it looks like when we do video, we get a lot more reach and a lot more engagement. Our community is telling us they like to consume content in a video format rather than clicking off of Facebook to go and read a blog post. So we need to listen and put the social back in social media and take that advice that our followers are giving us there. So pay attention to the type of content as well when it comes to creating your social media schedule. Now, going a little bit further into questions that you can ask yourself to get the strongest schedule out there is, what type of categories could you set up to guide your content strategy? The reason we love categories at Meet Edgar is because it not only allows you to have a variety of different content going out to your followers, and variety makes it a lot more exciting to follow you as a page or as a person than just sending out the same type of post, but it also guides what we like to refer to here at Meet Edgar as a batching strategy. Whenever you write your social media content, you should always write it in batches so that you're not just wasting time onboarding and offboarding yourself from getting in the mindset of using your brand voice, of writing to your one ideal audience persona, having that person in mind when you're actually writing to them. I know this stuff sounds kind of weird, but it makes a huge difference. If you remember there's someone consuming and reading your content on the other side, it's going to make it a lot more personal when you're actually writing it, and it's going to make it a lot more fun for you too, reminding yourself people are actually consuming and getting value from your content. So doing this with a category-based system allows you to say, okay, today I'm sitting down and I'm writing 20 thought leadership quotes to add to this category. Or today I'm sitting down and getting 20 curated pieces of content and adding my thoughts to them. Or today I'm sitting down and writing 10 tips that people can take action on that will go ahead and let them see the results they can have by following my method. These category structures make it so much easier to not get overwhelmed with the amount of social media that we need to put out into the world. So take some time and develop categories. Like I was mentioning, things like tips, quotes, curated content, blog post, motivational Monday, anything that you can think of that really categorizes and structures your social media also allows you to follow what we call the 80-20 rule on your Meet Edgar schedule. So when you go into your Meet Edgar account, we definitely want you to look at how you can make sure 80% of the categories on here are value-adding categories. So funny, entertaining, whatever that is. And then 20% can be a little more promotional, where you're actually leading people to your pricing page or to sign up for your newsletter. Remember, if you are treating social media like your own just kind of personal sales machine, it's not going to work as well than if you treat it as a relationship builder. You are building one-on-one relationships with people, proving your value and actually making sure they understand what they're going to get by purchasing your product or service. I kind of like to think about social media as your home a lot of the time. If you saw someone walk into your home unannounced, it's likely you'd be like, hey, what are you doing there? Same for your social feeds. If you follow a brand and they kind of walk into your feed and they haven't been consistent for a while, they haven't been showing up and allowing you to kind of get to know them on a more personal side, you're going to question what they're doing there and not be so happy about it. But if they've consistently shown up with value, and that value can be simply just entertaining you, that's why sharing funny gifts and stuff like that works so well. Same with your household. If you invite someone in and they're entertaining, it's much more likely you'll want them to stay. That's how you have to get really personal in your feeds and have your followers in mind when you're actually writing these posts. So think really strongly about this when you're setting up that consistency and scheduling your posts here, because you always want to choose days and times that your followers are online. You always want to make sure that you know the content language that your followers like to consume in the most, whether it's video, written, podcasting, so that they're able to actually consume the really hard work you're putting out there. And you always want to make sure that you're doing that 80-20 rule with your categories. And that's about as simple as it gets with creating a really strong foundational social media schedule. So let me know if you have a really great tip you're taking away from today's video in the comments. Give this video a like if you are enjoying learning about social media scheduling, and I'll be back tomorrow. So let me know. support@meetedgar.com is our email address if you have any topics you guys are looking to learn, as we do love to go live every single day and make sure we're offering our tips. Have a really great rest of your Tuesday, guys.